Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and PSG. Now when we hear these two names, when we hear Barcelona versus PSG, are there people that think about the goal that Messi has scored up against PSG back in 2013? Yes. Do many people think about that great assist that Dani Alves has placed that led towards Messi scoring that goal? Yes. Do people still talk about that moment where Iniesta made that wonderful dribble where he took down 2 or 3 players that led towards Neymar scoring that goal back in 2015? Yes, there are people that remember those moments. But for the majority of the people, when we hear Barcelona versus PSG, many of us are going to be remembering those two names by the La Remontada that was placed back in 2017. That is the main reason why so many Barcelona fans are so eager to watch these two teams play at the Camp Nou, because it brings so many great memories. It does bring nostalgia back. It was one of the greatest comebacks ever in the history of this sport, and Barcelona was at the heart of that moment. And now we are here. Now in 2021, Barcelona is going to be playing against PSG for the round of 16 that is going to be consisting of 2 legs. It is a draw that not just PSG fans and Barcelona fans are going to be watching. Many other different types of fans are going to be watching these two teams battle it out at the Camp Nou, because when you know that this is going to be Kylian Mbappe's PSG versus Lionel Messi's Barcelona going head to head, many heads are going to be turning. Now, as for PSG do have a couple of players that are going to be out away from this match due to injury. Di Maria is not going to be featuring in this match. Juan Bernat is not going to be in this game. There's a player named Pembele who will also not feature in this game. And one of the most important players that PSG currently do have in their roster is not going to be featuring in this game. The one player that was the driving force in that match between Barcelona and PSG back in 2017 is Neymar Jr. Neymar Jr. is going to be out in this match due to injury. And let's sit on this moment just for a second, right? Let's really understand what's actually going on here. The fact that Neymar is not going to be playing in this game is a huge loss for football. Is it a huge loss for Barcelona, for FC Barcelona fans? I do think that it is not. I do think that with Neymar leaving is only going to make and increase our chances towards winning this game at the Camp Nou. But for a football fan in general, we want to see Neymar at the Camp Nou. We want Neymar's PSG to go up against Lionel Messi's Barcelona. That is the main reason why Neymar left Barcelona back in 2017, is because he wanted to be in moments like this. And it really makes me question, right? PSG bought Neymar Jr. in 2017 for a total of 222 million euros. Ever since that moment, prices for players have never been the same. And that itself is really telling you on just how big this transfer really was. And seeing the fact that Neymar is yet again, for the second time in a row, going to be missing a very important match for PSG, it is something that is unacceptable, because there is a reason why PSG wanted Neymar, is to be and show up in moments when they do face up against tough oppositions. Yes, we have seen Neymar score wonderful goals, provide wonderful assists, make all of these skills up against lower division teams, but Neymar rarely shows up against teams like Barcelona or Manchester United. This is not his first time missing out due to injury. And it is very unfortunate that now, with PSG needing you the most to show up in these big competitive matches, you do not want to show up. So in the end, this is going to be Kylian Mbappe's PSG going up against Barcelona. And this will be the first time Mbappe is going to be facing Barcelona at the Camp Nou. And with that being said, this is going to be Koeman's big signal that he needs to be maximum prepared in order to face a great PSG side with a French world champion, which is again Kylian Mbappe. Because in the end, Barcelona is not going to know what he has under his sleeves in order to take down this Barcelona defensive line. It's going to be extremely difficult to defend against this young Frenchman. But let's take a step back away from these matches between PSG and Barcelona. What I really want to talk about right now is the atmosphere that has been surrounding these two teams, because over the past 3 to 5 days, we have seen one very consistent thing show up on the media that has been extremely annoying towards Barcelona and the city. We have seen the French media, the French newspapers, the sporting director of PSG, and the players of PSG speak on the move of Lionel Messi potentially moving to France, which in other words, Messi moving to PSG in the summer of 2021. And so yes, it is true. everyone has been involved in this story regarding Messi potentially moving to this club. And there has been annoyance coming from Barcelona, the city, and from Lionel Messi himself, reportedly, that they are annoyed with the fact that these players, these sporting directors, and the media are trying to create these false narratives that Messi wants to move to PSG and that PSG is going to do everything in their power to bring the Argentinian legend into France. And there has been arguments being made coming from France saying that, yes, we can do this. We can call Messi as much as we want, because about 2 years ago and over the past 24 months, Barcelona and the club have been trying to loom Neymar away from PSG to have Messi and Neymar play again on the field at the Camp Nou. You guys have been doing this for quite a while, and now it is our time to do this back. As a matter of fact, we feel more entitled to say this because Messi is going to be a free agent in the summer of 2021. And that has been the story. That has been PSG's and the media's argument towards Barcelona and Lionel Messi, is that they feel entitled to, and they feel like they have not been the only club and the only group of people that have been speaking on a player to come to their club. And so in my opinion, it has been a complete disaster. Just looking at this going back and forth, and complete unprofessionalism. But one thing is for sure, in the middle of all of this, in the peak of the media stating that Messi has a great possibility to come to PSG, in the peak of all of this, what we have been seeing as of late was Koeman and Barcelona showing a complete promising turnaround within this club. Because ever since in the beginning of 2021, the only thing we have been seeing from Koeman's Barcelona is these players performing better, getting better results. The players finally look like they understand their roles, and Barcelona certainly look like they're headed towards the right direction under the great Ronald Koeman. And the face of all of this has been one player, and that is Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi, so far in 2021, within the past 10 games, has scored a total of 9 goals and provided 2 assists. And looking back in the match between Barcelona and Alaves, which was probably one of our best displays so far in 2021, that was a statement. That was not just a game. That was a huge statement towards the world that Messi still loves this club, that Barcelona can still win, and that the youngsters that are currently being involved within these results, within these great wins, and the way that Barcelona has been playing, these youngsters do want to be part of this moment. They want to represent this badge. And in the end, like I said before, Messi wants to be the face of this whole thing, and Messi is going to want to show up against PSG in tomorrow's night's match. So let's go into the pre-match press conference that Ronald Koeman did have earlier today. So it is official that players like Ansu Fati, Felipe Coutinho, Sergio Roberto are going to be out for the first leg between PSG and Barcelona. And the one player that's probably the most important player for Barcelona at the moment, who is named Ronald Araujo, will not be featuring up against PSG. He did not participate in today's training session, and even though Ronald Araujo was willing to take painkillers for his ankle in order to face PSG, the doctors strictly said that they were not willing to give him any painkillers in order to navigate around the ankle injury that he currently does have. So Ronald Araujo will not be featuring in this match against PSG. It is going to be a huge loss for Barcelona, because the only center back that Barcelona currently do have that's pacey and has strength and brings everything there is when it comes to being a great center back for any club in general is Ronald Araujo. He is that player that did provide the most defensive recoveries, but the fact that Araujo is not going to be featuring in this game, it's going to be a huge loss. And I do think that Koeman has a lot to think about when it comes to who is going to be starting in that defensive line. So it's very unfortunate. Ronald Araujo was pushing for that move. He wanted to participate in this game as fast as possible, but the doctor said, we're not going to let you go out there and try to navigate around it, because it is going to get much worse. But with Araujo missing this match and the training session from earlier today, one player has appeared, and that one player has been Gerard Piqué. And it says here, according to Marcelo Bachelor, Gerard Piqué is training with the group at the moment. As for Araujo, he hasn't gone to training on the field and is discarded for tomorrow. And it's so crazy to hear that, because there has been speculations and reports stating that Gerard Piqué was going to try and make it for the second leg up against Sevilla that's going to be held on March 3rd. But now that we are hearing here that Piqué has participated in today's training session and that there is a chance that he could be facing up against PSG in tomorrow's night's match, it is a miracle. It is a miracle. Regardless if Piqué is not the most favorited center back at the moment, Gerard Piqué can bring great things to this club. And if there's not going to be no athleticism within our defensive line. The second greatest trait a center back could have would be the experience that Piqué does carry with him, especially when that experience does come from a La Remontada. In other words, Piqué knows how to handle a great PSG side. And so that is some great news. And Ronald Koeman did say this: we can use any of our defenders tomorrow. They have all played very good games, even though they have had their mistakes, which is part of football. I have no doubt about our boys. They will know how to defend a team like PSG. So Koeman has been showing that he is very well aware that he does have center backs that do commit mistakes, but he is also very well aware that that is what football is that there are going to be players that are going to be making mistakes, and he wants his center backs to know that. He wants his center backs to know that you are going to be making mistakes, but that does not make you a horrible defender. And I do lay my trust on you guys to go up against PSG. And looking at some key words that Ronald Koeman has used within this statement, he has said two words. He did say mistakes, and he did use the other term boys, which ultimately makes us believe that we could probably see Koeman use a very bold defensive lineup and a bold lineup in general up against PSG. There might actually be a chance that he might use a couple of youngsters going up against a very tough competitive side. And let me tell you, if there was one coach that would have the ability to do that and to make a big choice such as that, it would be Ronald Koeman. And he has been showing this so far in the past 6 to 7 games. Now, one of the biggest questions that does arise coming from these two teams is, does Barcelona and Lionel Messi have the capability to completely dismantle this PSG side? Because a couple of weeks ago, there has been many conversations saying that PSG are the favorites to take down Barcelona, but now we are getting into a conversation where it really does seem like Barcelona are capable to take down this PSG side. Back on January 2nd, PSG have made a very questionable decision, and that was that they have sacked Tuchel and brought in Pochettino. And when you sack a coach mid-season, it does tend to be very questionable. And Pochettino has stated in multiple interviews stating that his team does need some time, and that he needs time in order for him to implement the system that he wants to implement to his players. He has also explained that he wants his PSG side to be tactically flexible, which is something that he has done with Tottenham. And if that's really going to be the case, if Pochettino truly does believe that he does need time to implement what he wants to implement towards these players, the one thing I would say is this: when every player on the field is tactically educated on their role, you do tend to be more organized. What we are hearing here coming from Pochettino is basically a summary of these players are not there yet when it comes to being tactically educated on what their role is going to be on the field, because this team is just way too new under Pochettino. And if that's really going to be the case, then there could be a chance, a possibility that we could see a very unorganized PSG in tomorrow's night's match. And the one answer that they are going to be leaning towards to is going to be Kylian Mbappe. And that is going to lead us towards our predicted lineup. What lineup should we place on the field that could handle a great youngster named Kylian Mbappe? And so here's going to be my predicted starting 11. I do expect to see Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. Our defensive lineup is going to be Jordi Alba as the left back, Mingueza and Gerard Piqué as our center back duo, Serginho Dest as our right back. Our midfielders should be Busquets, Frenkie de Jong, and Pedri, and our front three should be no other than Dembélé, Lionel Messi, and Antoine Griezmann becoming that left winger for Barcelona. Now, there are three things that I do want to point out with this predicted lineup. Number one is going to be Mingueza. I do expect Mingueza to start right next to Gerard Piqué. I do think that if Barcelona want to score up against PSG at the Camp Nou, they're going to have to be much more higher than usual in order to force the mistakes away from PSG, suffocate them, and try to create a goal scoring chance. And if Barcelona are going to be pushing much higher than usual, we're going to be needing that pace, which is why I do believe that Mingueza should be there locked in and ready just in case PSG do go on the counter. The second point that I do want to make is going to be between Serginho Dest and Kylian Mbappe. The main reason why I want Dest on there is because I do expect to see Kylian Mbappe play as a left winger, then a center forward. And seeing the past 10 games that Pochettino has coached so far under PSG, Pochettino is going to be wanting to use Kylian Mbappe's pace on that left wing side to create chances for PSG. And we're really going to need a great and pacey right back to compete against a very pacey Kylian Mbappe. And that one player could be Serginho Dest. He is going to be having a very massive role in tomorrow's night's match. The third key point that I do want to make from this lineup is going to be Frenkie de Jong's advanced advancement. I do expect Frankie de Jong to play as that interior up against PSG. I do believe that we are going to be needing that extra goal threat inside that box, because with a defensive line that does not know their roles exactly 110%, I do believe that this is going to be the perfect time for Koeman to implement Frankie de Jong's runs into the box in order to receive a header goal or a shot. And that is going to be key. And the final key point that I do want to make is going to be about Lionel Messi. I do expect Messi to produce some moment of magic up against PSG. I do believe that Messi has become a player where he can work with the other players around him. We have seen Pedri work very well with Lionel Messi. We have seen Frankie de Jong work very well with Lionel Messi. We have seen Antoine Griezmann work well with Messi. And I do think that if you were to combine all of those things, I do expect Messi to score up against PSG. I know that there is going to be arguments stating that no, Messi is going to be acting as a creator, creating chances for Dembele and Antoine Griezmann. I don't think that that's going to be the case. I do believe that yes, we are going to see that in some cases, but for the majority of the time of this game, Messi is going to be wanting to score. Messi is hungry, Messi wants results, and Messi knows that if Barcelona do want to have the chance to go past PSG, they have to score many goals as much as possible at the Camp Nou. But that's going to be it for today's Barcelona pre-match preview. Let me know what's going to be your predicted starting 11 and your predicted score going up against PSG. Again, I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.